9 a.m. PowerFlow this morning. So excited to brew up a little extra energy, a little extra heat. So as we all join in and settle in on our mat, remember this is your practice. My words are simply suggestions. As you join me for my PowerFlow practice, so I'm going to suggest to settle in on your back body. I'm going to start with a favorite quote of mine as we all settle in on our back. So if you want to stay seated or choose child's pose, feel free to. But as you start to drop your foundation into the four corners of your mat, take a big exhale. Make it audible. And as you settle into this space, I want to start with a quote from Viktor E. Frankl. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. So my intention and practice today, which I'm going to ask you to set an intention for yourself, is to create that space on my mat with deep grounding breaths. I'm going to use my yoga practice today to connect to this space. So as we move through this power and we notice what kind of is ignited inside of us or what arises as we move through our practice today, pause in that space, take a deep breath, and change the way you'd respond. Choose how you want to respond. Alrighty, with that in mind, let's take 3 more big, beautiful breaths. Feel the breath deep from in the belly. Let it come all the way up into the bottom of the rib cage, the middle, the top, and then release it completely. Take your time to let every little last molecule of air release. 2 more big, beautiful breaths in this place. And as you stay with this breath, pull the knees in towards the buttocks. Heel toe the feet as wide as the mat, and just let the knees fall to the right and the left with your breath. Just starting with some gentle windshield wipers opening our hips. So we're going to move into our practice fairly quick this morning, starting with our traditional sun salutations A and B to heat the body up and prepare ourselves for the power to come. Both the physical and mental power by using that grounding breath, by noticing that space. 1 more time to each side. And then I want you to draw your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a giant squeeze. Tuck the chin to the chest, the forehead, to the knees, and release it completely. 2 more big, beautiful squeezes for yourself. And then take the hands on the back of the thighs. Bring the chin back to the chest and start a gentle rocking motion. Really use the core. Draw the navel into spine. Just rock hip to shoulders. If this doesn't feel good, just roll all the way to all fours. Otherwise, take a couple more rolls through the spine here. And then crisscross the legs. Roll to your hands and your knees. Spread your fingers wide, setting up your tabletop position. Soften the bend in the elbows. Find that space between your shoulders and ears. And curl all 10 toes under. Moving into your cat-cow, drop your belly on your inhale. Lift your heart forward, reach through your crown. Exhale, tuck your chin, hollow your belly, round your back. 2 more big, beautiful breaths here. Just use the length of your breath, the pauses between your inhale and exhale to settle into that stretch, that length. And then let's move into our child's pose. Take your knees wide, touch your big toes together, sit on your heels. Reach your arms far in front of you, spread your fingers a little bit wider. Let the forehead get heavy in the mat, let the sit bones sink heavy on the heels. Take one more big breath here. Press into the right hand so you can thread the left underneath the right. Reach all the way over to the right side of the room. Settle deep into the shoulder. Pull the hips back to the left. Take a big exhale. And on the inhalation, pressing into the right hand, rise up so you can thread the right hand underneath the left. Big breath in. Exhale completely. And then press into that left hand. Reach the right arm forward. Inhale, rise to all fours. Set up your tabletop position, curling all 10 toes under. Moving into our first downward dog. Big exhalation. Draw the hips up and back, but keep a strong bend in the knees. Notice the hands are shoulder width distance. The head hangs heavy, no tension in the neck, maybe even shake it. Gaze between the feet. And then start to bicycle the knees into our first downward dog. Setting up that foundation, that upside down V. Inhale, high on all 10 toes. Exhale, let the heels descend. Inhale, draw the navel in. Exhale, let the chest sink towards the thighs. Soften that space between your shoulders and ears. Soften that space between your molars. One more breath here. And the next time you inhale and come high on all 10 toes, stay high on your toes. Bend your knees, look between your hands. You have the option to tippy toe to the hands, hop, or jump lightly. Lifting the chest when you arrive at the front of your mat. Exhaling and folding into that half fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Sweep your fingertips up towards the ceiling. Let the palms touch, let the gaze move up. Exhale, hinge at your hips, fold forward, let the entire breath out. Inhale, lift chest and lengthen. Exhale, step, hop, or jump into your high plank position. On your exhalation, lower halfway chaturanga. Make sure your shoulders are above your elbows. Point your toes. Draw your chest forward. Reach through your crown. Upward dog. Feel free to do cobra. Exhale, flip the toes. Draw the belly in. Lift the hips up and back. Downward dog. 3 full breaths here. Reset your foundation. Find your breath. Settle into your space. And on the next inhalation, come high on all 10 toes. Bend the knees, look between the hands. Step, jump, or float lightly to the front of your mat. Lift your chest halfway on the inhale. Exhale and fold into that space. Inhale to rise all the way up. Sweep the fingertips up. Get nice and tall as the gaze moves up. Exhale and fold. Let it all out. When all 10 fingertips touch the mat, lift the chest halfway, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, step, hop, or jump the feet into a high plank position and use your next exhalation to lower halfway or all the way. Inhale, draw the chest forward. Squeeze the ankles, draw the navel in. Exhale, flip the toes, lift the hips up and back. Downward dog. Breathe here. Soften the space between the shoulders and the ears. Really spread the fingers. Can you feel the index finger? The mound of the index finger, press into the mat and push it forward. And then without losing that connection, exhale, soften the space between your shoulders and ears. Notice your next full breath in here. And when you draw the next breath in, come high on all 10 toes, bend the knees, look between the hands, step, hop, or jump lightly to the front of your mat. Inhale to lift your chest halfway and lengthen. Exhale to fold into that space. Inhale, rise all the way up, sweep the fingertips up towards the ceiling. Maybe get a little bit taller. One more round. Exhale and fold. Inhale to lift the chest halfway. Lengthen the spine. Exhale to plant the hands, step, hop, or jump the feet into a high plank position. Full inhale for length. Exhale and lower halfway or all the way. Inhale, draw the chest forward and up, lengthen. Linger, exhale, hips lift up and back, toes flip, downward dog. Breathe here, 3 full breaths. Inhale, high on all 10 toes. Bend the knees, look between the hands. Step, jump, or float to the front of the mat. Inhale to lift the chest halfway. Maybe finding a little more length in the spine. Exhale to surrender over the thighs. Inhale to rise all the way up. Sweep fingertips up. Stay nice and tall here. On the exhalation, I want you to hinge the hips as if you're sitting back into a chair. Squeeze the knees. Let's just pause here. Take an extra couple breaths. Peek down. You can see your toes in front of your knees. Lift up through all 10 toes. Find more weight in your heels. Now broaden across the back body by bringing those shoulder blades down and almost turning the pinky fingers towards one another. Notice if you have an arch in your lower back, draw your navel in, lengthen that spine, and then sink back into that space. Take one more full breath in here. And as you exhale, fold forward, let it all out. Inhale to lift your chest halfway. Exhale to step, hop, or jump the feet into a high plank position. And on the exhalation, lower halfway or all the way. Inhale to draw the chest forward, finding a little more length, a little more space between your shoulders and ears. Exhale, lift the hips up and back. Flip the toes, downward dog. Step the right foot between the hands. Drop that left heel down towards the mat. And on the inhalation, sweep the fingertips up. Moving into warrior one, notice that right knee hugs out towards the pinky toe side of the foot. You can have heel to heel alignment, you can step off that tightrope. But let yourself sink into that space. Lighten those toes. Lift through your inner arches. Exhale, plant the hands to the mat. Step right foot back to left. Exhale, lower halfway. Inhale, point the toes, draw the chest forward, reach through the crown. Exhale, lift the hips up and back. Flip the toes, downward dog. Breathe here. On the next exhalation, bend the knees, look between the hands. Step the left foot between the hands. Let the right heel drop down to the mat at a slight angle. Inhale, sweep fingertips up towards the ceiling. Setting up your warrior one on the other side. Hug that left knee to the pinky toe. Keep the back leg straight. Our goal is to get our hips towards the front of our mat, but we're all unique. They're not necessarily going to square up. You might have to step off that tightrope as you sink into that space. Lighten the toes and take one more full breath in. On the exhalation, plant the hands to the mat. Turn that right heel up. Step, left foot back to right. Exhale, lower halfway. Inhale, draw the chest forward and up, lengthen. Exhale, lift the sit bones up and back. 3 full breaths here. Spread the fingers a little bit wider. Press into the mat, push it away. Feel the hips lift up and back. And then keep that length through the back body with your next breath in. But as you exhale, soften that space between the shoulders. This might be awkward upside down, but think of the outer armpits rolling down towards your mat. Feel that space across the back body and breathe into it. And on the next inhale, when you come high on all 10 toes, stay on the toes. Bend the knees, look between the hands. Step, hop, or tippy toe to the front of your mat. Inhale, lift your chest halfway and lengthen. Exhale, bend your knees, drop your hips into that chair position. Sweep the fingertips up, pause here. Take 2 more full breaths in, pull those shoulder blades down the back. Broaden across the back body. And on the next exhalation, fold forward, let it all out. Inhale to lift the chest and lengthen. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands. Step up or jump into your high plank position. And on the next exhale, lower halfway or all the way. Inhale, heart draws forward, crown reaches, maybe even look up this time. And on the exhalation, lift the hips up and back, flip the toes, downward dog. 3 full, long, beautiful breaths here. Reset the rhythm in your breath. And as you bend your knees and look between your hands, step your right foot between your hands. Let the left heel drop down to the mat at a slight angle. Inhale, sweep fingertips up towards the ceiling. Exhale, sink into that space, planting the hands to the mat. Stepping right foot back to left as you inhale. Exhale to lower halfway. Inhale to draw the chest forward and up and lengthen. Exhale to pull the hips up and back. Flip the toes. Full breath. Bend the knees, look between the hands. Step the left foot between the hands. Let the right heel drop down to the mat at an angle. Inhale, sweep fingertips up, rise up. Exhale, lowering into that space. Plant the hands to the mat. Step left foot back to right as you inhale. Exhale to lower halfway. Feel more space between the shoulders and the ears. Inhale, press through the tops of the feet. Draw the heart forward, reach through the crown, linger. Exhale, lift the hips up and back, downward dog. 3 full breaths here. We should be warm by now. Pause. Listen to the rhythm in your breath. The rhythm in your heartbeat. And as you reset it, step the big toes together. Inhale, sweep the right heel high to the sky. Bend the knee, turn the hips open. And as you stack that right hip on your left, maybe even look under the armpit. Maybe come high on the back toes and draw the chest a little bit closer to the thighs as you enjoy one more full breath in. On the exhalation, step the left foot between the hands, right foot, pardon me, rise all the way up. On the exhalation, sink into that space. 5 breaths here. Inhale to reach to the ceiling, rise up and lengthen. Exhale, drop back into any new space. Nice and slow with your breath, time under tension. Really press through that back heel as you rise up. And let that sit bone sink as you exhale. One more full breath here. Once you settle into your space, drop your arms down so you can reach them all the way towards that back left foot. Spread your fingers wide. Really draw your hands down. Reach the energy down. Lengthen, lift the chin. Keep that space between your chest and your thigh. We're going to use a little buoyancy in that back foot to rise into warrior 3. Inhale, press off those back left toes. Lift your heel. Pause. You can balance on your fingertips or blocks here if you need to. Otherwise, bring your hands to heart center. Square your hips. Flex that floating foot. Point those toes down. And on the exhalation, bend the knee part way. Inhale, rise back up. Lift the chest, lengthen. Exhale, slowly lower. Inhale to rise back up. 3 more full breaths here. Take your time. Let's not rush through them. Really lift that chest. Press through that floating foot. Lengthen as you rise up. Trust those little wavers. Trust those shakes. Remember, what response is coming up here? Pause in that space and breathe. This time when you bend your knees, use it to balance on the fingertips. Keep the right fingertips planted. Roll that left hip on the right. Open up into your half moon. Hand can come to the hip or all the way up towards the ceiling, but stack shoulder over shoulder. Make that T position. Take one more full breath in here and notice the length of it. Moving into warrior 2, soften the bend in that front knee. Let the back foot land to the back of the mat. Line up heel to heel. Turn the palms down, let the shoulders soften from the ears. Lighten the toes, exhale into that space. Inhale, straighten through the front knee. Reach the fingertips up towards the ceiling. Exhale, drop back into your warrior 2. Soften your gaze over your fingertips. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, sink back into that space. 3 more full breaths here. Really feel the pinky toe side of both feet engage into the mat. Find a deep foundation as you lighten your toes. One more big breath in. When you rise up here, reverse your warrior with a straight leg. Left arm slides down the back leg. Right fingertips towards the ceiling. Front leg is straight. Square the hips to the long side of your mat. Take another full breath in. And on the exhalation, drop back to your warrior two. Settle into that strong foundation of your feet, but soften your breath. From here, we're going to move into Skadasana, half squat. So straighten through that front leg, bend the back right knee, let the sit bone sink towards the mat, maybe balance on your fingertips. Inhale, rise back to your warrior two. Sink into your side squat. Use the foundation of your foot to rise back up. 3 more full breaths here. Take your time, find your own depth. Soften your gaze. Ground yourself with your breath. Notice that front knee. Are you letting it fall in? Can you really hug it out to that pinky toe side? One last time. Exhale. Reset that strong foundation. Soften that breath. Pause in that space. And on the next exhalation, windmill your hands to the floor. Turn that back left heel up towards the ceiling. Pause here. Revolve side angle. The back knee can come down to the mat if you like. Otherwise, take that left elbow to the outside of that right thigh. Bring the hands together in prayer position. As you inhale, lift your chest towards the hands. Inhale, press through that back left heel, really light it up. Exhale and twist. Pause here. You're going to trust your power here as you set and relax into the rhythm of your breath. Using those back right toes, I want you to bounce off the back right toes and bring that right foot forward to the left. Drop the sit bones down, lift the chest up, twisted chair. Full breath in, finding space between chest and thighs. Exhale and twist, find that resistance. On the next exhalation, completely release. Fold forward, let the hands settle to the mat. Inhale, lift your chest halfway and lengthen. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands. Step up or jump into a high plank position. Use your exhalation to float through your vinyasa at your pace. Return to downward dog or take a rest in child's pose. What do you need in your practice today? Wherever you are, take 3 full breaths in your foundation. Reset the rhythm in your breath. Ground yourself with that space in between every breath. And then maybe, as you draw that smile onto your face, knowing the same sequence on the other side. Step big toes together. Inhale, left heel high to the sky. Bend the knee, turn the hips open, stacking that left hip on the right. Inhale, even weight in the hands. Come high on those back right toes. Let the chest come closer. Let that left heel get heavy. And on the exhalation, bring the knee to the nose. Hover hollow so you can plant that left foot between the hands. Press through that right heel. Inhale, rise up into your lunge. Exhale, sink into that space. 5 full breaths here. Inhale to rise up. Exhale to surrender into that space. Set up your foundation. Maybe you need to go wider for more stability. Maybe you want to go more narrow for more core work. But notice if you've dropped into your lower back. Navel draws in. Torso lengthens. Sink into that space with that connection. 2 more full breaths here. And if you find it hard on the shoulders, maybe bend the elbows, cactus the arms, find more space between the shoulders and the ears. And as you sink into your space, reach the arms for the back of the mat. Turn the palms up, spread the fingers, and just lean slightly forward. Lighten those front light toes. Soften your breath and use the next inhale to push off those right toes. Sweep that right heel high to the sky and pause here. You can balance on your fingertips or blocks, or bring hands to heart center. But as you set up your warrior 3, lift your chest. Press through your floating foot. Point the toes down. And on the next exhalation, bend the knee part way. Inhale, rise up, lift the chest, lengthen. Exhale and lower. Beautiful. 3 more full breaths in this way. Take your time. Move as slow as you can with your breath. Rise up on that inhale. Pause between the inhale and exhale. Notice that space. And then reset your own depth. 2 more full breaths. Next time you lower, plant those left fingertips to the mat. Straighten through that left leg. Roll that right hip open. Hand can be on the hip or all the way up towards the ceiling. But as you flex that floating foot, reach through the crown. Find more length. And then with control, soften the bend in that front knee. Let the back foot settle to the back of the mat. Warrior 2. Back leg is straight, toes are turned slightly in. Front knee goes towards 90 degrees and you can peek and see the inside of your big toe. As you settle into that foundation, soften the shoulders from the ears. Spread through all 10 fingertips. Sink into your space as you lighten your toes, but lift through your inner arches. On your inhalation, press into the soles of the feet, rise up, straighten that front leg, reach the hands up towards the ceiling, touch the palms. Exhale, sink back into that space. 4 more breaths here. Inhale to rise up, to lift and lengthen. Keep that length as you exhale and let that right sit bone sink back down to the mat. 3 more breaths, your pace. Find your own depth. Extend back up. Next time we rise back up, I want you to pause there. Front leg is straight. Reverse the warrior. Let that right arm drop down the back leg. Left fingertips towards the ceiling. Draw the navel in, really lengthen through the torso and breathe into that space. Make it feel delicious. And on the exhalation, when you bend that front left knee, bring the arms back, heart center. Set up that warrior 2, getting ready for side squat. Straighten the front left leg. Bend that back right knee. Sink into that space. Inhale, press into the sole of the foot. Rise up, reset your warrior 2. 4 more breaths here. Take your time, find your depth. Maybe you balance on your fingertips or a block. But keep the heart lifted. The sit bones sinking through both postures. Where's that pause in between? Where's that grounding breath? One more full breath cycle. Pause in that foundation once again. Feel your own strength as you soften your breath. And on the exhalation, when you windmill the hands to the floor and turn that back right heel towards the sky, revolve side angle. Option to let that right knee come to the mat, otherwise take the right elbow to the outside of the left thigh. Bring the hands together, and as you inhale, find that space between chest and thighs. Exhale, just twist from the belly. Pause here. Feel your length from that back right foot. Press through the heel on the inhale. Reach through the crown. Keep that connection as you slowly draw that left foot forward. Let left toes meet right. Sink the hips, lift the chest, exhale and twist. Fierce pose, chair pose with a twist. Finding space between the shoulders and the ears. Let the sit bones sink lower than the heart. Just twist at the belly. And on the exhalation, release. Fold forward, let it all out. Inhale to lift the chest halfway. Exhale, step up or jump into your high plank position. Use your exhale to lower halfway or all the way. Inhale, press to the tops of the feet. Squeeze the ankles, draw the navel in, lift through the crown, linger. Exhale, lift sit bones up and back. Flip the toes, downward dog. Full exhalation here. Let out all that heat we're building. Find your breath. Listen to the rhythm. of your breath in your heart. Once we settle back there, let's all meet in a high plank position. So depending where you chose your foundation, inhale, high on all 10 toes if you're in downward dog. Unroll the vertebrae one at a time to bring the shoulders right over top of the fingertips. Really press through the heels. Make sure they're lined up over the big toe mount. Keep that soft bend in the elbows as you draw the navel in. We're going to bring right knee to right elbow and extend out. Keep that leg lifted. Three-legged plank, lower to your chaturanga, halfway. Rise back up. Knee to elbow. Inhale, lengthen, hold that foot up. Exhale, lower halfway. Press into the earth, rise back up. Knee to elbow. Full length, keep that toe lifted. Remember, option, you can always drop the toes, drop to the knees. Wherever you choose to take this to build your own power, find one more full breath. Next time that left knee comes to the elbow, extend the left foot all the way out to the right. Land on the outer edge of the pinky toe and let that back left heel drop to the mat. Fallen triangle, lift your hips. Make it feel delicious after all that hard work. And on the exhale, lower the hips to the mat. Keep a soft bend in the elbow. Make sure that the shoulder is over the wrist. Inhale, rise back up into your fallen triangle. Exhale and lower. 3 more big, beautiful breaths here. And on the exhalation, let that right foot come inside the left leg. Lift and lengthen out of your pelvis and take the right fingertips towards the ceiling. Exhale and fold. This is where we get to settle back into that rhythm of our breath. Maybe bring that left hand inside and let forehead surrender to knee. No force, no pull. Full reset. And on the inhalation, when you rise up, half wild thing, plant the right hand behind the back, left fingertips towards the ceiling. On the inhale, lift your hips evenly up towards the ceiling. On the exhalation, when you come back down, you're just going to crisscross your legs. Roll to your hands and knees on the front of your mat once again. Curl all 10 toes under. Lift the sit bones up and back. Downward dog. Big, full exhale. Nice and audible. So when we breathe, if we're feeling too warm, always let out a big audible exhale. It helps the body cool down. If you need more warmth, keep that Ujjayi breath, where the lips touch. You breathe in and out through your nose and you can feel and hear the breath at the back of your throat. Take one more full breath in your own way. And then inhale high on all 10 toes. Unroll the vertebrae one at a time. Let's all arrive back in our high plank position. Pull the shoulder blades down the back. Draw the navel and keep that soft bend in your elbow. Notice the extension of your head. Are you tucking your chin or are you dropping your forehead? Can you find one strong line from heels to crown? Pause there. Feel that strong line but soften your breath. Then bring right knee, right elbow, full extension. Lower halfway. Press into the earth, rise back up. Knee to elbow. Lengthen as you extend your leg. Keep it lifted if that's for you. Lower halfway. Rise back up. Round, hollow. More length. Exhale and lower. Rise back up 2 more times. Remember, you have the option to drop those toes, drop those knees. What do you need to build your own strength, to stay with your own breath, to still be able to pause and ground between each? Next time that knee comes to the elbow, extend the right foot all the way out towards the left. Let that left heel drop down to the mat. Lift the hips up. Full breath in as you expand into your fallen triangle. Exhale to lower the hips. Inhale, press into the of the feet rise back up. Exhale and release. 3 more full breaths in this way. And when the sit bones come back down, let the sole of that left foot arrive into the right. I'm just going to twist around so you can see again. This time, left fingertips go to the ceiling, and as you exhale, fold up and over that right leg. Reach for the outside of the foot or the shin, and then let that right hand draw inside. Full release here. Forehead surrenders to the knee. You surrender to your breath. Let's take one more full exhale together. And on the inhale, when you rise up into a seated position, plant the left hand behind the back, right fingertips towards the ceiling. Inhale, lift the hips up towards the ceiling. Enjoy that length from foot to hip to heart to fingertips. And on the exhalation, when the sit bones come back to the mat, just crisscross the legs. Roll back to the front of your mat in all fours position. Curl the toes under. Lift the sit bones up and back. Reset your foundation. One more last strong sequence. Working into balance in our core. And then we'll be there in that cool down. So rewarding today after this amazing, powerful practice. So take your time to reset the rhythm in your breath here. And then when you're ready, you're going to slowly bend the knees so you can walk the hands towards the back of your mat. Arriving in a forward fold at the back of your mat. Heel till your feet hip-width distance if they're not already. Balance on your hands or a block, or hold opposite elbows and just let yourself hang in your ragdoll. Maybe you move side to side, maybe you stay still. But really release any tension that's been built up. And then release any bind, soften the bend in your knees, firm the foundation in your feet, and on your inhale, slowly unroll one vertebrae at a time to rise all the way up. Once you rise up, shoulders to ears, shrug those shoulders all the way down the back body, turn the palms open, step big toes together, ankles gently apart, Samastitihi, equal balance. Lift up through all 10 toes, spread them out nice and wide. Now remember that intention we set. That space between our breaths, between the stimulus and the response. So if you get to a place where you think, this isn't for me, then choose to make that powerful choice. Or choose to trust your own power and see where it takes you. With that in mind, draw the right knee towards the chest as you put more weight onto that left foot. First 2 fingers and thumb go around the big toe. You can choose to stay here. Reach the opposite arm out to the side for counterbalance. You can just hold your knee and open your knee to the side. But hand to toe balance, you also have the option to extend that leg and reach the leg out towards the side. Keep the hips square to the front of the mat. That soft bend in the standing knee, but that length from the sole of the foot to the crown of the head. On the exhalation, come back to center. Whether you're holding your knee or your foot, I want you to trust your balance and slowly bend that standing knee until you bring your bum all the way to the ground. Use your hand if you need. Lift the chest, lengthen. Here we're just going to roll just to our shoulders, not past it. And when we roll back, we're going to plant the sole of that standing foot and rise all the way up. Just play here. So find a gentle roll, plant that foot, rise up. Pause in your balance. Exhale, lower. Find that gentle roll, plant the foot, rise back up. So there's always options here. 3 more full breaths, just play on your mat. Maybe use your fingertips to land. And when you roll back, maybe you release your foot. Use your hands and just use the power of both legs to rise up. There's always options to build your power, build your strength. As long as you stay with your breath. After the next breath, when you rise up, hold your balance. Bring both hands to that foot or knee. Exhale and fold. Let the right foot meet the left. Shake those legs out. Take a big breath in, circle the arms up. Exhale and fold, let it all out. Inhale, lift your chest halfway. Exhale, release. Soften the bend in the knees from the foundation of the feet. Slowly unroll 1 vertebrae at a time once again. Rise back up to set that equal balance. Shrug the shoulders down the back, turn the palms open. Big toes together, ankles gently apart. Inhale, lift up through all 10 toes, spread them nice and wide. Feel that strong grounding between the big toe mound, the baby toe mound, the center of your heel. Keep that soft bend in your knees. Find more weight on that left foot. Lift the right knee in towards the chest. Relax the shoulders. Square the hips. Drop that left sit bone. Remember, you have the option here as you find the counterbalance with the opposite arm to just open the knee. If you want to go deeper, take yogi grip. First 2 fingers and thumb around the big toe. Extend that left leg forward. Reach through the crown. And then open that leg up, keeping the hips square. Remember, it doesn't have to be extreme. When we all come back to center, we're going to lift our chest. Trusting our own balance, we're just going to bend through that standing knee until our sit bones reach the mat. Roll to our shoulders. Use that momentum to lean forward. Press into the sole of that foot and rise up. Remember, we all fall. Your goal is to reset your balance. To trust yourself to just play again on those 4 corners of your mat. Remember, you have options. Release that grip, plant both feet, and see if you can rise up with both feet. Last 2 breaths. Hold the balance. Fold forward. Release. Shake those legs out. Take a big breath in. Circle those arms up. Exhale, let it all out. Inhale to lift the chest. Exhale to fold. Walk the hands forward into your high plank position. And this time as you lower the belly all the way to the mat. Point the toes. Hands under shoulders, draw the elbows in. Inhale, lift the chest forward and up and lengthen. Exhale and release. 2 big, beautiful breaths in this way. Peeling the chest off the mat. Press the heart forward, reach through the crown, make it gentle. 1 more. And then crawl 10 toes under. Just rise up into your all 4 position. Nice release here. We're just going to walk our hands forward into what we call puppy pose, or half downward dog. So keep your hips over top of your knees. Reach your arms far forward to the front of your mat, and then just let your chest sink into that space. Keep lifting the hips up and away from the fingertips. Let the chest sink deep towards the mat. And on the next inhalation, slowly walk the hands back toward underneath the shoulders. Just flip the feet forward so you can extend the feet forward into that forward fold. Legs straighten in front of you, flex the ankles, flare the toes. Inhale, sweep fingertips up. Lift and lengthen out of your pelvis, and as you exhale, just hinge at your hips. Reach forward. Really important here, we don't lose it by rounding our back. So when you find your space, lift your chest halfway on the inhale. Exhale and just let yourself fall into that space. Let the crown of the head descend. Let yourself drop into your breath here. And as you inhale and rise up, just plant the soles of the feet to the front of the mat. Make sure you have enough space behind you and no blocks to find Navasana or boat pose. Hands slide onto the back of the thighs. Calves come parallel to the mat. And you can stay here keeping that lifted chest. If you want a little more, extend through the toes, extend through the fingers. Notice what's happening to your breath. Can you keep the same length in it? Can you keep lifting through your heart? If not, find that modified position where you can keep finding the tips of your sit bones on each inhale. Drawing the shoulders away from one another, sticking out that chest, shining that heart up towards the ceiling. Take one more full breath in there, and on the exhale, we're going to slowly lower one vertebrae at a time, just till the shoulders and the heels are 1 inch above the mat. On the inhale, leading with your heart, rise up, get a little bit taller. Exhale and unroll. 4 more full breaths here for a total of 5. Your pace. Remember, you have the option to slide the hands down the hamstrings, pause, use that bind to draw the heart forward. Lift with the heart first. Get a little bit taller every time. And this time when you rise up, press the soles of the feet together, interlace your fingers around your toes and let your feet settle to the mat. Lift the heart on the inhale, and on the exhale, hinge at your hips and fold into that space. Use your shins and forearms gently against one another to allow the knees to fall to the floor. And then once you find that space, relax the shoulders from the ears. Drop the chin to the chest. And just let the chin move side to side. And on the inhale, when you rise back up, use the hands to draw the knees together. Make sure there's enough space behind you to slowly unroll one vertebrae at a time. And when you do settle onto the back body this time, just cross that left ankle over the right knee. Thread that left arm between the legs and interlace the fingers around the hamstring. Flex the ankle, flare the toes, and then tuck your chin. So the back of your skull should still be really heavy on the mat. The bottom of your tailbone, with each inhalation, should settle deep into the mat. And as you exhale, any tension in your jaw or molar softens. The shoulder blades get heavier into the mat. And then you can just allow that right knee to fall in towards the chest a little bit more. Once you settle into that space, I want you to just move side to side through your lower back. Notice where your body starts to resist. Maybe settle into that space for an extra breath. And then moving right into our twist. Keep that left ankle over the right knee and drop the legs all the way over to the right. The sole of that left foot will settle onto the floor. Drop the left shoulder into the mat. Let the gaze fall over. Breathe here. Maybe you use that hand to draw the thigh away, so the hand's on the inner thigh, drawing it away for a little more space through that outer hip. And on the next breath in, engage the core, bring the knees safely back to center. As you untwist the legs, just pull that left knee in towards the chest, straighten through that right leg. And just find a gentle squeeze. We're going to move into half happy baby here. Sliding the hands onto the back of that hamstring, calf, or maybe take that yogi grip first. 2 fingers and thumb around the big toe. So right leg is straight. Left knee drops into the armpit. Chin is tucked. Breath is soft. Let yourself just find more space here. More breath. And on the next exhale, when you release that bind, just let the left foot settle to the mat. Bring that right knee in towards the chest so you can cross that right ankle over the left knee. Thread right arm between the legs, interlace the fingers behind the hamstring. Flex the ankle, flare the toes. Exhale, tuck your chin. Inhale, more connection into the back of the skull. Exhale, soften that left knee in towards the chest. Settle here. Shoulders get heavy in the mat. Jaw gets soft. And when you find your space, rock side to side. Make it slow. Where do you start to resist? Where do you need to pause and take an extra breath and release any tension? Where can you make it feel yummy? And then when you're ready, dropping into that twist, arms drop out at shoulder height, palms up. And the sole, that right foot settles all the way over towards the left. Right shoulder gets heavy in the mat, gaze softens. Big full exhalation as you surrender here. Remember, you have that option to place the hand inside the inner thigh and draw that leg away, finding more length in that outer right hip. Breathe deep into that space. Savor each breath here. Surrender to whatever twist is available. And on the next inhalation, when you gently engage the core and bring the knees back to center, just pull that right knee in towards the chest, extend through that left leg. Find a gentle squeeze of the knee, just on the outside of the chest. And then moving into that half happy baby, take the hand on the back of the hamstring, the calf, or that yogi grip, first two fingers and thumb. Let the knee soften into the armpit. Enjoy that space spreading between the hips. Big exhale here. Let yourself drop deep into the stretch, deep into your breath. And then when you're ready, if you want, go ahead, bring the left knee back in towards that armpit. Take a full happy baby. Chin is tucked. The bottom of the tailbone is heavy in the mat. And with each inhale, as you imprint the spine a little bit deeper, soften the shoulders. Let the knees get heavy in the armpits. I love to roll side to side and straighten one leg and then the other in this posture. Just kind of let out any last little kinks, any last little tension, anything I no longer want to hold in my body. And letting the soles of the feet come together and drop down to the mat. Arms settle down by the side, body palms up. Just press into the back of your skull so you can tuck your shoulder blades deeper down your back rib cage and then settle heavy back into your mat. Let the knees get really heavy as they fall towards the floor for another breath here. And then when we're ready, surrendering into Shavasana, our final posture. Straighten the legs as wide as the mat. Let the feet flop open. Let any remaining tension float out the lower legs, the upper legs, and right through the torso. Any last tension floats through the upper arm, the lower arm, and right out the fingertips. And with that release, the molars drop away from one another. The tongue drops away from the roof of the mouth. Amazing practice today. Savor every yummy physical sensation it brought up. Settle here without criticism or judgment. enjoying this space for as long as you need to today. Thank you so much for choosing to practice with me. See you on Friday for Happy Hips. Namaste.